Everyone knows that Gu Zhiheng spent 15 million to turn me into a star only to spite the white moonlight of his heart. I'm nothing but a stand-in, valued only for a voice uncannily like hers. Apart from that, I have nothing he could possibly cherish. Later, when I was secretly planning to propose at my concert, Gu Zhiheng sneered with lazy cruelty. Xiasu, I will never marry you. Even if you force me in front of tens of thousands, it won't work. But he still came. He sat in the first row, watched me step on stage in a wedding dress, roses in my hand, and say another man's name. That night, everyone said the Gu family crown prince had lost his mind. He stormed into the bedroom and rummaged for the token of love I'd once given him, only to find a single page of sheet music titled Goodbye. All the assistants knew I meant to propose on stage. The gown was fitted, the bouquet ordered. My manager, Xiaoman, set down her rundown after the final check of lights and set and exhaled. Gu Zhiheng heard about the proposal. My fingers trembled. What did he say? Not much. She replied softly, only that even if you force him in front of a whole stadium, he still won't marry you. I let out a slow breath. I see. Of course he wouldn't care. Emoshi, the white moonlight, had just returned, and all of Gu Zhiheng's attention was on her now. Emoshi had landed on our 3rd anniversary. I waited until the candles on the dinner table guttered out, then finally phoned him. Zhiheng, can you come home? It's our 3rd anniversary. I prepared a gift for you for so long. His voice was bored. Zuzu, be good. I know, but he cut me off. What did you prepare? A ring? Roses? Xiasu, after all these years, do you still not understand what we are? The line clicked dead. The room filled with dial tone. I sipped the red wine, sour, then bitter. I understood perfectly. It was cliché. I was Emoshi's substitute. Gu Zhiheng both loved and hated her. They were childhood sweethearts. At 16 Emo, she entered a folk singing contest, shot to fame, and became a name in Chinese music. 3 years ago, she dumped Gu Zhiheng and flew to Austria. To punish her, he found me. I debuted under the label Little Emoshi, same clear languid voice. Gu Zhiheng poured in money and resources. I rose fast, soon the brightest new female vocalist in the country. On the outside, the world adored me, fans, critics, spotlights. Inside, Gu Zhiheng never respected me. When he was drunk, he'd cradle me and whisper hoarsely, "Baby, you sing beautifully, but no matter how beautiful, you're still just a fake." I always answered with silence. Back then I was 20, desperate for my grandma's surgery bill. My first night singing in a bar, a greasy customer groped me. Gu Zhiheng kicked open the door, hauled me to safety. Under the night sky, a man in a bespoke suit bent to me gentle. "You're Su, right? Want to be a star? Come with me." In the 3 years that followed, I gained fame and money. My grandma got well. The timid, self-loathing girl became the radiant woman on award stages. Everything I had, Gu Zhiheng gave. I once thought, as long as he never said the word leave, I would stay with him forever. But Emoshi came back. One evening I was drinking with Gu Zhiheng in a private vineyard when Emoshi video called. On screen she wore no makeup and was still breathtaking. "Yo, Gu Zhiheng, did I interrupt your date?" Gu Zhiheng smiled and pulled me closer to the camera. "Not at all. Let me introduce you. Emoshi, this is my girlfriend, Xiasu." Emoshi's gaze raked over me. "How does it feel, Miss Xia, riding my coattails at home?" "That's not quite right," Gu Zhiheng said, swirling his wine. "When Xiasu debuted, people did say she resembled you, but she's long since found her own style. These past few years she's writing originals. Every release tops the charts. Want me to play you a couple?" Emoshi bit her lip, snapped no need, and cut the call. Gu Zhiheng stared at the blackened screen, face icing over. He reached for his glass, then in a sudden burst of rage flung it aside. Wine splashed. Drops landed on my white dress, blooming like blood from a wound. That night, while Gu Zhiheng showered, his phone lit up. "Gu Zhiheng, you win. I bought a ticket back tomorrow. Answer one thing. You once said if I ever turned around, you'd wait forever. Does that still count?" He came out in a robe. I lay motionless, pretending to sleep. He lifted the phone, then bolted from the house without even a goodbye. The door slammed. I sat up slowly. I knew it was the last time I would ever be in that house. For 3 full months, Gu Zhiheng stayed with Emoshi. My calls went straight to voicemail. Rumors spread. Gu's white moonlight returns. Xiasu tries to force a ring. Reporters camped outside. I kept silent. When they cornered Gu Zhiheng at dinner with Emoshi, he snarled, "Xiasu and me? Just boss and artist. Which eye of yours saw us dating?" Emoshi beside beside him smiled like victory itself. When the report reached me, my assistant bristled. That scum, don't call him that, I said gently. Tears welled in her eyes. I patted her. Come on, next month's my concert. We've got work. Public sympathy stayed with me. The world saw 3 years of hidden love, then an outright denial. Gu Zhiheng read the comments. When he learned I meant to propose on stage, he assumed I was weaponizing public opinion. The night before the concert he texted me, his first message since Emoshi's return. Xiasu, don't do something stupid. We were never in a relationship, were we? I paid to make you famous. The only condition was you sing me to sleep each night. We shared a bed but never crossed a line. The single time I called you my girlfriend was just to anger Emoshi. I read every text calmly and never replied. I thought he wouldn't come, yet he did. First row, black suit, black shirt, the same look as the night we met. One by one I sang every song on the set list, and he listened to them all. Finally the lights dimmed. Every backing track vanished. In my wedding dress I stepped into a single spot. Rumors of Xiasu's onstage proposal were true. The crowd erupted. Gu Zhiheng stared up at me, black eyes like deep water, ripples racing across them. Shock, pain, something unnameable. Gu Zhiheng, turns out you and I are the same. No matter how cold the words, we can't quite become heartless trees or grass. I closed my eyes, lifted the mic. Tonight, thank you all for coming. I hope you'll witness something important. I've loved one man for 3 whole years. Every lyric I've written came from him. I've dreamed of the life we'd share. Just imagining it fills me with happiness. But for many reasons, he's never asked me to marry him. That's okay. Today I'll be brave for once. I love you. Will you marry me? Tens of thousands of eyes swung toward Gu Zhiheng. Then I spoke another name. Will you marry me? Shannon. A follow spot speared the corner where my silver-haired grandma sat. Beside her stood a slender, handsome man, plain white shirt on him like a pine in snow. Shannon stared at me, tears glinting with disbelief. In that ocean of light, only the two of us existed. From the first row Gu Zhiheng rose. His face was ice, eyes shaking, hands shaking, as though the next second he might shatter. Xiasu, are you toying with me? I didn't know why he was angry. He himself had said we'd never dated, yet to claim we were perfectly innocent would be false. 3 years, more than 1,000 nights, lying side by side, breathing the same air. At first he only wanted me to sing. He suffered terrible insomnia, ASMR, sleeping pills, nothing worked except my voice. I'd hum softly until his breathing evened, then tiptoe away. But even the smallest rustle sometimes woke him. One rainy night, as I tried to leave, his eyes still closed. He caught my wrist. Don't go. The scent of cedar on his skin mixed with the warmth of the duvet. My voice quavered. Then where do I sleep? He smiled, the corners of his eyes curving. Right here. He patted the space beside him. Sweat beaded my back. I can't. His smile vanished. When Gu Zhiheng isn't smiling, he's the cold, capricious crown prince the tabloids describe. Terrifying. You're refusing me? I really can't, I whispered, biting my lip. He said nothing more, rolled over, buried his face in the quilt, and never spoke another word to me that night. I stood frozen, then slipped away. The rain outside was torrential, my umbrella useless. Drenched, I swallowed a fever pill, dragged myself to a music show taping with a raging cold. The director, who'd been effusively friendly, now smiled with false courtesy. You've been replaced, effective immediately. The show had been locked for months, my biggest gig of the year. The night before, the director had still confirmed my set list. Now his indifferent face told me Gu Zhiheng had made one phone call. He could fund my rise. He could also erase it with the same ease. I went home. For 2 weeks not a single job remained. Every endorsement, commercial, or concert evaporated overnight. My phone stayed blank. Only one message arrived. The medical supplier reminding me the special medication my grandma needed would be even scarcer next quarter. Payment in advance if I still wanted it. That night I went to Gu Zhiheng's house. He glanced at the pajamas I had brought and gave a lazy smile. Good girl, he murmured, stroking the little bear printed on the fabric as though he couldn't help laughing. First time, I began to cry. He wiped my tears with the pad of his thumb and whispered, go to sleep. He never touched me. The bed was vast. I curled into a corner and tossed for hours. At first sleep was impossible. I would lie awake, listening to the rhythm of his breathing for entire nights. Eventually I grew used to it and drifted off to that familiar sound. Many nights later Gu Zhiheng woke from a nightmare, suddenly wrapping his arms around me. Susu, he called, pulling me tight. His whole body was slick with cold sweat. His pajamas were soaked. He pressed his forehead against my collarbone, eyes and voice equally wet. Promise you'll never leave me. All right. At that moment he was pitiable. Few knew his story. Gu Zhiheng was the child of his father and his father's first wife. His grandparents had raised him. When he was in grade school they died one after another, and he was forced back to a father who had already built a new family. In that lonely adolescence, Emoshi was the the only warmth he'd ever known. And she had abandoned him too. "Promise you'll never leave me," he repeated, half asleep. "Susu, you're all I have." I heard myself answer softly, "All right." He seemed finally at ease and fell asleep holding me. I listened to his breathing even out. My own heart pounded like a drum. It was the first time in my life I had shared a bed with a man. His hot breath brushed my neck. Our body heat mingled. The way he cradled me felt almost protective. Rationally, I knew this wrong beginning wasn't love, but hormones rose and fell like tides. I turned my head in the dark and studied his exquisite face. Sensing it, he opened his eyes a slit. "Susu." He tugged the corner of his mouth and laughed softly. "Have you fallen for me?" I shook my head. "No," he laughed again, hugged me tighter and whispered, "Liar." In Gu Zhiheng's world, few women failed to adore him. After Emoshi left, girls pursued him like carp leaping a river. Heiresses, A-list actresses. He always refused with a polite smile. If someone persisted, he would intertwine his fingers with mine and flash our clasped hands in front of her. Then the moment she left, let go and sometimes even wipe his palm with a tissue. That tiny scene summed up our entire relationship. In public, he doted on me. When I ran a 39-degree fever and couldn't swallow, he slipped out of a shareholders meeting at the first text and came home to feed me pear soup spoon by spoon. When a senior artist bullied me on set, he took the first flight back after watching the raw footage, showed up with 24 hours of stubble, and glared until the man dared not speak. On every holiday, he invented new ways to celebrate. Hot springs while snow fell, clinking sake cups as flakes floated down, a cruise under starlight, listening to blue whales sing all night, running hand in hand through a campus in full cherry blossom with soon-to-graduate students, posing for dozens of photos. All the Gu family staff, stewards, nannies, drivers, cooks, told me the same thing. "We've never seen the young master treat anyone like this. He truly loves you." Yet only I knew that when I accidentally shattered a glass piano model on his shelf, the 16th birthday gift from Emoshi, the tender Gu Zhiheng vanished. His smile froze. He turned to ice. "Don't touch it," he said. "You're not worthy." In that instant it felt as though we were actors. On set he was the devoted male lead and I the adored heroine. Then the director shouted cut, and we stepped back into reality. The actor dropped his role and showed naked indifference. "I'm sorry," my voice shook. "I didn't mean to." He said nothing, his freezing gaze fixed on me. At last he ordered quietly, "Kneel." Shards glittered across the floor. I looked at the razor edges. My pupils quivered. In a flash I remembered many things. A new girl at the company, even younger, skin like blown egg white. After her demo the producer remarked she resembled Emo. She more than I ever had. Adored Gu Zhiheng. Everyone feared him, but she didn't. Whenever he appeared she trailed him calling Brother Zhiheng in a sweet voice. Gu Zhiheng smiled at the producer. "She's promising, push her." And some of my resources quietly shifted to her. The day before in the fitting room, I'd met by chance. The company had borrowed a high-end blush pink mermaid gown for me, but when I arrived it was already on her body. "Pink suits me better, don't you think, Sister Sue?" she asked, fearless and innocent, yet undeniably confident. I replied evenly, "Brand and artist are contracted. The dress was borrowed under my name." She smiled. I asked Brother Zhiheng. He said if I like it, I can have it. Now standing among the glass shards, I thought of Yi's assured smile, then of Grandma sitting on her bed, knitting while she pointed at me on TV to visiting neighbors. "My granddaughter, she sings beautifully, doesn't she?" Perhaps I stood too long. Gu Zhiheng lost patience. He turned toward the door. Before he took 2 steps a soft sound came from behind. He looked back. His pupils flinched. I had knelt. Without shifting aside a single splinter, I dropped straight onto the glass. Sharp edges bit into my calves. Blood soaked through at once. Yet it was as if I felt no pain. "Zhiheng, I'm sorry. I was wrong." My voice held bottomless humility. "Punish me if you want, but don't ignore me. I truly can't live without you." The moment the words fell, I saw immense satisfaction flare in his eyes. Everyone has their tastes. Gu Zhiheng relished my abasement. Emoshi was proud, the moon hanging too high. While I was moonlight on water, he could trample me. I would shatter, yet I would mend and lie docile at his feet again. An intoxicating feeling. He crouched, stroked the wound on my leg with pity. I flinched but didn't pull away. Instead I half closed my eyes as if savoring his warmth. He lifted my chin so I met his gaze. "Susu, do you love me this much?" I didn't answer. I only blinked, and a tear rolled down, large, heavy, landing on the back of his hand like a burn. He shivered, fully gratified. Gu Zhiheng scooped me up, strode out of the Gu mansion, and ordered the driver. Hospital. That night paparazzi snapped us. He in black suit, me in white nightdress, curled against his chest. Online, fans went wild. CEO and Starlet's fairy tale Princess Carrie. I looked at the photos and gave a quiet, bitter smile. Though the doctor stitched the cuts, a scar remained on my calf. At first I concealed it with concealer during events. Then one day Gu Zhiheng remarked, almost idly, that it was the mark he'd left on my body. From then on I not only stopped hiding it, I worked with a renowned tattooist to turn the scar into a flowering thorn vine. What does the pattern mean? He asked. In truth it meant nothing, only the closest design to the scar's shape, but after a second's pause I told him, it means love wounds us, yet love also blooms. The answer pleased him. He smiled and stroked my hair. Later the blush pink mermaid gown was worn by me after all at an event. Yi vanished from the company. The producer told me the Gu CEO had said one firm shouldn't promote too many lookalikes, so her contract was terminated. The resources were all mine again. Outwardly I sailed smoothly. Secretly I'd begun therapy. The counselor and I talked for hours, and on the final report wrote, the patient's intimate partner exhibits strong dominant traits, alternating warm emotional support with calculated emotional abuse, inducing probable Stockholm Syndrome. To release the pressure I started writing songs, one after another, sometimes sleeping in the studio. Gu Zhiheng would visit, lay his suit jacket over me. When I woke he'd be reading my lyrics. Dark wet eyes shining. You've set all our days to music, he said with a smile. He believed every song was a love letter to him. He could match each lyric to a memory. Snowflakes fall into the pool, tears into the wineglass, us drinking sake in the hot spring snow. A whale sings at 52 hertz and only you hear my heart. Us on the cruise under starlight listening to blue whales. Cherry blossoms scatter, yet I bloom. Us racing through the campus sakura. Gu Zhiheng never doubted my love, even when every song in the concert set list was one of these. So when on stage, my proposal was not for him. He simply could not accept it. He exploded. Backstage I scrolled through my phone. Xiaosu concert proposal. Groom not young Master Gu trended on every platform. Assistant Xiaoman rushed in, pale. I heard Mr. Gu on the phone. He's going to blacklist you. Let him, I said softly. Before the words were out, the dressing room door burst open. Gu Zhiheng strode in, breathing hard. Xiaosu, who the hell is Shannon? My boyfriend. Your boyfriend is obviously. Gu Zhiheng's voice broke off mid-sentence. He couldn't go on. After all, he was the one who, while savoring the feeling of being adored by me, warned me over and over, we are not in a relationship. I curved my lips. President Gu, you're the one who told the outside world that we're only boss and artist, and our company has no rule forbidding artists to date. So if I get myself a boyfriend, what right do you have to lose your temper? Gu Zhiheng was choked with anger. After a long silence he ground out, Xiaosu, stop feigning ignorance. Don't forget, everything you have I gave you. I looked at him. He looked back, black eyes brimming with the certainty of victory. Of course he was certain. For 3 years, whenever he played that card, I would surrender without condition. But now I only smiled. Then I'll give it all back. Gu Zhiheng's eyes widened. Everything, I said. I'll return tonight. This is my farewell performance. After this, I'm leaving the industry. For the first time in his life, I saw Gu Zhiheng panic. I had already changed and picked up my things. When I reached the dressing room door he blocked me, voice trembling. Xiaosu. At that instant he finally understood he had nothing left to use against me, so he could not keep me. I nodded politely. Goodbye, President Gu. I stepped around the frozen Gu Zhiheng and walked away. After a few steps I paused, turned back. Gu Zhiheng. He spun around, hope flaring in his eyes. I laughed. In the bedroom there's a last song I wrote. A gift for you, our 3rd anniversary. Xiaosu was gone. It took Gu Zhiheng a long time to come back to himself amid the bustle around him. He raced home, tore through the bedroom, searching. Not on the desk, not in the drawers. Finally, under a pillow he found Xiaosu's last gift. He had imagined roses or a diamond ring. It was neither, only a rough demo of a song titled Goodbye. Thank you for every meeting. Farewell at last. For some reason those ordinary words shattered him. He remembered a night long ago when he had held Xiaosu and made her promise never to leave. She had agreed. Why had she lied? She had said I love you so many times. Had it all been false? Wait. Standing in the bedroom, Gu Zhiheng felt a bucket of ice water pour over him. A terrifying detail struck him. Xiaosu had never actually said she loved him. He had asked again and again, and each time her answer had been silence. Because he had been so sure, and she had been so humble, he had taken that silence as consent. So she had never loved him at all? Everything had been for resources, for a future? Gu Zhiheng nearly went mad. He rang every contact in the industry, producers, directors, variety show planners, threatening to pull investment if any many of them worked with Xia Su again. Within hours, the news that Gu Group had blacklisted Xia Su spread everywhere. She wanted resources, didn't she? Now that every door was barred, she would have to come back to him. That tactic had always worked before, but this time it failed. 1 day, 2 days, many days passed. He waited. Xia Su never appeared. Only then did he realize she had meant every word she'd said in that backstage dressing room. She was quitting the industry, like those 20th century starlets who retired the moment they married. She would not sing anymore, and therefore did not need him anymore. For the first time, Gu Zhiheng went looking for Xia Su. Before, one call had been enough. Now he humbled himself and sought her out. Her small but exquisite house lay at the end of a lane. Most of it was already empty. Miss Xia moved out, the landlady told him. She said if anyone came looking, they could see her bedroom. The landlady let him inside. One entire wall was covered in photographs. In every one stood Xia Su and the man in the white shirt. What was his name? Oh yes, Shannon. Xia Su and Shannon smiling in a hot spring snowfall, on a cruise beneath starlight, running hand in hand beneath falling cherry blossoms like college sweethearts about to graduate. Gu Zhiheng's hands shook. He had always believed every one of Xia Su's songs was a love letter to him. He had been utterly wrong. They were love letters, but not to him. He must have seen the photos she left. They crushed him. At 10:30 a.m. he rang her. Across the distance his voice was hoarse, almost breaking. Xia Su, who exactly is Shannon? I was silent a long time, then laughed softly. You can't find out, can you? Of course Gu Zhiheng had tried. No matter how many strings he pulled, he could uncover nothing. It doesn't matter, I told him. I'm leaving the country with him. For the first time in his life, Gu Zhiheng softened. Xia Su, don't go. I'm begging you. For the first time in mine, I refused. Thank you for every meeting. Farewell at last. I hummed the melody, ended the call, pulled out the SIM card, snipped it, and dropped it in the trash. Goodbye Gu Zhiheng. Goodbye. Shin and Gu Zhiheng searched for Xia Su for years, but she had vanished. After the initial collapse, he tried to persuade himself not to care. She had only been a stand-in. Emoshi had returned. The loss of a counterfeit should mean nothing. He turned his full attention to Emoshi. She was no longer aloof. She cooed and asked him to accompany her to the studio, to pour resources into her. You spent 15 million propping up that stand-in. How much will you spend on me now? Gu Zhiheng wanted to promise everything, yet only said, let's hear you sing first. Emoshi was disappointed, but sang the demo the producer had written. Gu Zhiheng's frown deepened. Something's off. The producer changed the song. Emoshi sang again. Gu Zhiheng said the same thing, some elusive difference. Why don't you sing like before? He asked. Have you changed your technique? It sounds strange now. Finally, the producer intervened. President Gu, Miss Mo's voice and style are exactly the same as when she debuted. No change at all. At that moment, Gu Zhiheng felt lightning strike. He realized what he truly liked might be Xia Su, and Xia Su later no longer resembled Emoshi at all. He played Xia Su's albums on repeat. Every song chronicled her love with Shannon. Each listen cut him, yet he couldn't stop. The only track he dared not play was Goodbye, the only one she had actually written for him. Years later, Gu Zhiheng was dining alone when he noticed a familiar face. Only as he finished eating did recognition dawn. He had seen this man under the glaring lights of that concert, though no one had been able to make out Shen An's features. Today the man wore a crisp white shirt, the same silhouette, jogging Gu Zhiheng's memory. Without thinking, Gu Zhiheng walked over and sat opposite. The man glanced up in mild surprise, then smiled politely. President Gu, isn't it? His courtesy left Gu Zhiheng momentarily mute. At last he asked, almost inaudibly, you're Shannon, right? The man's smile did not falter. Perhaps it's time I told you the truth. I don't actually know how Xia Su is doing. Gu Zhiheng's gaze jerked. You, divorced? The man shook his head. We were never married. He drew a business card from his pocket and placed it on the table. Gu Zhiheng read, Chen Mingyu, psychological counselor. Gu Zhiheng began to tremble. What does this mean? My surname is Chun. For over a year I was Miss Xia Su's therapist. She was trapped in a painful intimate relationship. After long discussion we concluded the only escape was to sever all ties with the person causing that pain. To carry it through, she asked me to play a role. I agreed. Gu Zhiheng clutched the card, unable to speak. After an eternity, Chen Mingyu saw Gu Zhiheng laugh. A broken sound. So Su did love me. Those songs really were for me. Chen Mingyu regarded him quietly. If I were you, Mr. Gu, I would feel only sorrow. Miss Xia loved you, yet paid such a price to say goodbye. Have you ever asked yourself yourself what you did wrong. The words struck like a thunderbolt. One last thing, Chen added. You knew once, though perhaps you forgot, or never cared. Shannon was the alias Xiaosu used when she first sang in bars. Gu Zhiheng's head snapped up. Chen shrugged. She said that the night you pulled her out from under a drunk client in that bar, she truly fell for you. Chen left. Gu Zhiheng sat motionless. So saying goodbye to Shannon meant saying goodbye to the Xiaosu who had loved Gu Zhiheng. If only he had remembered, if only in the days after that concert proposal, he had recalled that Shannon had once been Xiaosu's name, there might still have been hope, but he never did, so she left, never looking back. Gu Zhiheng's mental state deteriorated. He had long suffered from bipolar disorder and severe insomnia. Once, only Xiaosu's songs could lull him to sleep. Now he played her albums on repeat, and still could not rest. Only then did he understand it had never been the songs that calmed him, but the person. He turned to alcohol, drinking himself senseless night after night. In dreams her face still waited. He would wake in the hospital. His secretary, eyes red, delivered the test results, advanced stomach cancer, as if fate pitted him. The next week he found online a photo of a seaside band abroad. The lead singer was radiant, carefree. He stared a long time. It was unmistakably Xiaosu. This is my third year singing with a beach band on an island still untouched by commercialism. Few tourists come. The locals are fair-haired and blue-eyed. No one recognizes me. I've tried musical styles I never dared at home. Life is calm and full. One day, I ran into Gu Zhiheng again. He had lost so much weight that he looked almost translucent, pale and haggard. I had always thought that when we finally met again I would be overwhelmed, but I was surprised by how calm I felt. I walked up to him and greeted him like an old friend. His eyes misted over at once. Susu. The sun was just setting, so I invited him to sit with me on the reef, drinking beer and watching the dusk. His gaze fell to my calf, where a tattoo covered an old scar. I followed his eyes and smiled. You once asked what this tattoo means. I lied to you then. Now I can tell you. After thorns, blossoms always come. He was quiet for a long time, then asked softly, Susu, you did love me, didn't you? I smiled, unburdened. Yes, I loved you. It was the first time I had ever answered him directly. I heard him let out a long, shaky breath, but I went on. I love freedom and dignity more. In the fading light, I saw his shoulders stiffen. After a while, he lowered his eyes. There were tears in them. I'm sorry, Susu. I shook my head, still smiling. It's too late. A belated apology, but I said, it's all right. Not forgiveness, only release. A word to myself. It's all right. After the thorns, we will find the roses. Gu Zhiheng left. While we watched the sunset, he had noticed the gentle curve of my belly. He never asked, afraid the answer would break him. When he was far enough away, he couldn't help but look back. He saw me return to the band and speak with the drummer, a wild, handsome man with long hair who attacked his kit with frenzy, but looked at me with the gentlest eyes. She has truly begun a new life, he thought, and he would remain trapped in the past. A searing pain twisted in his stomach. Gu Zhiheng realized he could no longer fly home. His body couldn't endure the long hours in the air, and there was nothing left in that country to miss. Then stay. I finished the last chord on my guitar, and heard a distant splash, as though something had slipped into the sea. I looked out. The surface was calm, embracing everything. The sun had vanished. The water looked like molten gold. For no reason a single scalding tear slipped from my eye and struck the sand. I wiped it away, lifted my gaze to the vast sky. The heavens are wide, the ocean endless, the old friend is gone. I have walked to where the water ends, and at last I have love and freedom.